Hello, and welcome to this video on reporting for the Homeowner Assistance Fund, or the HAF program, which is part of the American Rescue Plan. In this video, we're going to demo how to complete your quarterly report in the Treasury reporting portal. But before we get into that, a quick reminder about HAF reporting. First, a quick reminder that the first quarterly report for the HAF program is due by Friday, June 10th, 2022. In addition to information in this video, you'll also be able to find the user guide for this report, as well as the HAF program's reporting guidance available on Treasury's website. The link for the website is www.treasury.gov/HAF. We highly encourage you to visit the resources on our website in addition to viewing this video. Next, we're going to talk about the requirements of the quarterly reports, as well as information that will be collected as part of that reporting. So first, the quarterly reports will be asking for information including general information on applications received and approved, the number of homeowners assisted by your HAF program, and financial information regarding obligations and expenditures that have been incurred as part of the program. The information requested will be asked for in several different levels. The first is overall budgetary information around your HAF program at large. And then it gets more granular by asking for information by program and then by your design element. And then finally, there are certain disaggregated data points around the program that you'll see is collected in detail in the report, and we'll go through how. And just a note, accessing of the compliance report in the Treasury portal has largely remained unchanged from the interim. And with that, let's go into the demo and I'll show you exactly how we can navigate into the Treasury portal, create a report, and run through completing of a report. All right, now that we're in the Treasury reporting portal, I'll just pause here and say, information on logging in or creating an account to access the Treasury reporting portal is not going to get covered in this video. As you can see, we're already logged in, and this will be focused on the reporting. But if you're interested in how to register for an account, how to get access initially, and how to set up roles for your jurisdiction, we have separate videos on those topics on our Treasury YouTube page, and it's also available on the Treasury website. So I encourage you to review that information as well. That info will also be available in the user guide. So with that, let's jump into trying to access the report. So again, this is the home page or the landing page of the Treasury reporting portal. You can see it covers several different programs. You can either click on the left-hand side compliance reports or the button at the bottom that says go to your reports to head over to your list of reports to complete. So let's click go to your reports. Now you'll see here I have an account with a lot of test records, but we're going to scroll down to the section that says HAF compliance reports. For you might have a table below that just lists one or two records. In this case, I have several test records that is just specific to this demo. In order to first generate a quarterly report, you're going to click the button here that says create a new HAF compliance report. We'll click that, and a pop-up box will appear where it'll be pre-filled with quarterly as the option, and then the expected time frame for this quarterly report. You'll also see here your associated HAF grantee plan. If this all looks right to you, you can go ahead and click create, and that will generate a new record for you. in this case, I've already created a quarterly report record here at the bottom, which I can go back and access. You can see it has the right time period and the right due date. To access it, I will click on the edit column in this little pencil icon. That'll allow me to click in to view. Now, the first page you see when you click into the report record is the instructions page. We highly encourage you to read the instructions on this page and refer to it as a resource. In addition to providing instruction on how to complete this report, it also provides useful links to the HAF guidance, as well as a direct link to the Treasury HAF website. On the right-hand side, you'll also see helpful information summarizing your report, as well as your HAF plan, and again, the due date. On the left-hand side, you'll see a series of navigation links that will direct you to different pages in this report. And these are the pages we're going to walk through shortly. But again, highly encourage you to read and review these instructions before continuing on. Once you've done that, you can again use the left side navigation links, or you can simply click Next. The next page will be the participant information page, where you'll be provided with a list of information that Treasury has on file for your jurisdiction. In this case, it'll be pre-populated with your jurisdiction's name, state, ID numbers that we have, as well as address. If you have any discrepancies in the information that you're seeing on your screen, please use the Report Discrepancies box to let us know. If you scroll down, you'll also be able to see a list of contact people that are associated to your jurisdiction's account and the roles that they have for that account. This is a quick way to manage your contacts and use them to assign roles as needed. You can also click the Manage Contacts button to view your contacts in detail, add new contacts, and assign new roles. If all that looks right, we can either save information or click Save and Next, which will both save and bring us to the next page. So let's go ahead and click Save and Next on the bottom right. Next, you'll be brought to the budget reporting page, where you'll report based on your budget submitted in your HAF plan. The table here is where you'll be entering in information manually, and the budget column will be pre-populated with the elements that were included in your plan. So in this case, your HAF original plan budget will list the different program design elements that are included in your plan, as well as the current budgeted amount column. In this case, it's blank because this is a test record, but for you, it will be pre-populated with the budget figures that you submitted in your HAF plan. And you'll be asked to edit the cumulative to date obligations and the cumulative to date expenditures for each of these design elements manually by clicking on the little pencil icon and entering in a value. In this case, I can enter a value here, and I can click Save. And you'll do that for each of the program design elements that are listed in your version of the budget reporting table. Please note that the cumulative to date obligations column will, of course, be greater than or equal to what you enter in the corresponding cumulative to date expenditures field. Once you've done that, you can click Save Information, which will save everything on the screen. And then you can also click Save and Next to move on to the next page. And that brings us to the programmatic information page. Here on this page, you'll be asked to answer 17 questions about your use of HAF funds. All the questions here will be entered in manually, and all of the requested information will be reported cumulatively. You're going to be asked to provide information on applications, information on homeowners assisted, information on delinquencies resolved, information on reimbursement expenses, if applicable, and information on verification of loss and mitigation availability. So we can see here, scrolling down, we start off with please enter a number of unique homeowners that submitted a draft or completed HAF application for HAF assistance. You'll be asked to enter in a number value. Similarly, you'll complete the remaining questions in this page, entering number values for the questions requested. I won't go through each of these questions here, but please know that they are requiring you to enter in numerical values in these fields. You're expected to enter them in manually. They will not accept negative entries. If you have questions about what these questions are asking for or how to define these values, you can look at our user guide and reporting guidance, again, posted on the Treasury website. I will note on this page, if you scroll down further, the answers to 12, 13, and 14 are pre-populated for you. 12 is auto-populated based on the applicability for your jurisdiction. But all of these questions are based off of what you reported previously in the budget reporting page. In this case, 13, 14, the dollar values would be auto-populated based on what you reported on the budget reporting page. Once you've filled this out, you can click Save Information again to save the information you've entered in this form, and you can click Save and Next to go to the next page. Now, we're brought to the Import Disaggregated Data page. I'll take a step back here and just say that we're starting to get into the section of the report where we're going to be entering disaggregated application data. There are two ways in this report that you can enter in disaggregated application data. The first is through a bulk upload file where you fill out an Excel template and you populate it with your reported values, and then you upload it through this Import Disaggregated Data page. The second way is to enter it in manually. Now, for this quarterly report, there are 5 different types of data within this disaggregated application data that you're being asked to provide. That'll include data on race, data on ethnicity, data on gender, data on area median income, and data on the reason for denial. So if you have a lot of data to report, we encourage you to use this Import Disaggregated Data page to populate through an Excel spreadsheet and then upload it through the upload function here. The next page we will go over is the ability to enter this in manually. But first, let's try to use this Import Disaggregated Data page. You'll see at the top some instructions on how to complete this section, and also under number 1 here, a link to download the Excel template to populate your report data. You can click the download button to automatically download the Excel here. Once you've done that, you can open it up and you should see an Excel template similar to the one that is being displayed on your screen here. You can see in the template all of the different fields that you're being asked to enter your reporting data for, including reason for denial, race, ethnicity, gender, area median income, and where applicable, the socially disadvantaged metrics, metrics on the specific region, and the type of mortgage. You'll also see in this Excel template, in the second page, a set of instructions for you. Please read these instructions carefully and make sure you follow these instructions when using the import template tool. Key reminder here, you're asked to not change any of the formatting in this template, and when you do save the completed file, that you save it as a file format of CSV UTF-8. That will ensure that your information will get uploaded correctly. So let's go ahead, I'll take a look at a completed template file, and we'll try to get it uploaded. So here we have a completed template for your disaggregated data. And again, we're going to use this template to populate both the disaggregated applications data and the disaggregated assistance data as well. So if we scroll down, one key thing to remember is that the system will want you to fill out all of the fields in this template, even if you have nothing to report. You're asked to affirmatively enter in a 0 and not leave it blank. So for this, I've entered in 0s for fields that I have nothing to report, and enter in values where I do have information to report. So please pay attention to this carefully, and remember, it will require you to fill in a value, even if it's 0, for all of the fields in this template. And again, these fields will be imported into both the disaggregated applications and the disaggregated assistance pages of the report. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. So now that we're back in the import page, we're going to try to import the file that I just displayed. To do that, we're going to click the Import Data File button down here, which will open up a pop-up, including some instructions on how to use the import tool. What we're going to do is click the Upload Files button, which will open up your Windows Explorer, and you're going to be asked to select the file that you want to import. In this case, I have this file here. I'm going to double click, and it's going to say upload was completed. I'm going to click done, and you can see here in the upload window a sample of the data that I've imported is available to view. But we're not finished yet. It hasn't actually uploaded anything into your report. Before we do that, we're going to click the Validate button here. That will validate and check for any errors or inconsistencies in your data before you finish your import. So with that, the validation is successful. There are no errors or issues with my data. I'm going to go ahead and click Import. And like that, the records are created. It's going to send me back to the instructions page, but I'm going to navigate back to disaggregated applications data to view the data that I've imported. Now on the disaggregated application data page, you'll see here a series of tables on this page that include information that I just entered into the import template, section on race, section on ethnicity, section on gender, section on area median income, section on reason for denial, and those are all the only sections on the application data page. You'll see here there's also the option of manually editing the values that I just entered by clicking the pencil icon here and changing the values. Again, this application data page summarizes the application status and the counts of those application statuses by the different breakouts in each table. Similarly, we provided an error checking tool for each of these tables where if there are errors reported in your upload or the calculations do not add up to what was previously reported on the programmatic information section, it's going to be flagged as an inconsistency. Here, note that I misuploaded information that I meant to report on the ethnicity table in the import template, but was accidentally captured in data not collected. To do that, to get rid of this and fix this correction, I'm going to manually remove these values. I'm going to click Save on the race table, and then I'm going to enter in the same values in the ethnicity table where they were originally meant to go. Once I've done that, I'm going to click Save, and like that, the errors go away and the summary totals are changed to blue. And that's how you know you've done everything correctly. Once you've done that for all of the tables here, you can scroll down and click the next button to go to the assistance data page. Now we're on the disaggregated assistance data page, where just like on the previous page, we're going to see the information that we imported through our import file, but this time for the number of homeowners assisted, the socially disadvantaged individuals assisted, and the total obligated and expended for each segment within the race table, ethnicity table, gender table, area median income table, socially disadvantaged table, region, mortgages, and housing type. So again, this is all part of information that was previously imported, and we're going to do a quick review of that information to make sure that it's accurate. Similar to last time, I realized here, made a mistake in importing data into the wrong row here and accidentally imported into data not collected, which was incorrect. I meant to add this into the ethnicity table. And we'll do just that by manually adjusting it here so that it reflects what we have on the programmatic information section. So we've made that correction. We can scroll down and see if there's any other corrections to be made in our data. And just like that, looks like our corrections are made. Once you verify that all of this information is the way that you want to report it, you can again scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Next. And again, all this information must tie back in total to what you reported on the programmatic information page. So let's go ahead and click Next. Once you click Next, we'll be brought to the geographic data page. On this page, you're going to be asked to use the import tool and completing a Excel template to report on the homeowners assisted and the obligations and expenditures by zip code. So to do that, it'll be similar to the disaggregated import that we previously did. You're going to click the Download the Half Quarterly Geographic Data Template button, which will download an Excel template for you to populate. And we'll go take a look at what that looks like. Here, similar to the disaggregated applications data that we just imported, this Excel template will be used for us to fill out the data required for this section of the reporting. And again, we're not going to touch the formatting in any of the grayed out sections of the template. We will populate the rows here with different information by zip code for the number of unique homeowners assisted, the cumulative obligations, and the cumulative expenditures for each of these zip codes. Instructions are also available in the second tab, marked Instructions. Again, like before, we'll make sure that we save this file once completed under the file format CSV UTF-8. Once you've completed that file, you'll be able to similarly go back to the geographic data page in the portal, click the Import Data File button, and again, this will look very much identical to the disaggregated applications data import, where you'll click the Upload Files button. You're going to upload the file, the CSV file that you've completed, and then click Validate to validate whether there are any errors in your file, and then ultimately click Import to import data into your Treasury report record. So if you've done that, you can move on to Next. And we are now on the Programs page. Here, you're going to enter general half participant program information one by one by using the Add Program button available on your screen here. Let's try to demo by adding a program ourselves. So again, I'm going to click the Add Program button, and that will direct us to a new page for add or editing a program, where we will be asked to fill out a program name, program start date, program income earned and program income expended, if applicable, brief program description, information on your total obligations, total expenditures, the number of homeowners assisted, the number of socially disadvantaged individuals assisted, the number of delinquencies resolved with monetary half assistance, and the number of delinquencies resolved with non-monetary half assistance. So let's go ahead and fill this out with some test information, but I do want to point out here the goal of this section is also to tie to what you previously reported in budget reporting for your whole report. So while you're disaggregating by the program here, please keep in mind that if you're reporting things by program that doesn't add up correctly to what you previously reported at the budget reporting level, you're going to receive some errors. And I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go ahead and enter in some information. So here, I'm just going to enter in some sample names. And for this, I will enter in just that this is first of the month. For program income earned and expended, in this case, I'm going to say 0. And that's not applicable. I'm going to enter a test description here. For purposes of Treasury, we just ask that you provide as much description and detail as possible in your program description to help us. But there is no clear or recommended template here. Next, we'll add in total obligations, cumulative, 110,000. Total expenditures, cumulative. I'm going to enter in the same amount. Number of homeowners assisted. Enter in 10. and 10 for number of socially disadvantaged individuals assisted, number of delinquencies resolved with monetary half assistance. I also enter 10 and 10. Again, this is just test data for the purposes of doing this demo. You obviously enter in your own information from your HAP program. So once you've done that, you can click Create Program, and you'll see that I've successfully created a program here. And you also see at the bottom that a new section appears that says Design Elements. And now that I've created a program, I need to be able to associate to it Program Design Elements. And you see an error message here, you must add at least one program design element. So let's go ahead and click on the bottom right, Add Design Element, which will bring us to a new page for adding in design element information. In this case, for my test program, I'm going to say I have a design element for mortgage payment assistance, and if this is the only design element I am reporting, I will report the full amount of the obligation expenditures that I just listed. Similar to homeowners assisted and number of socially disadvantaged individuals assisted. So let's go ahead and click Create Design Element. And just like that, we're back at the program page. I've successfully created my design element, and I'll see down below that my design element is accepted. If at any point you need to go back into your program design element, you can click the Edit button, which will allow me to go back and edit any of the values that I entered. So let's go back and click Save. And I'll make sure that the values here are accurate. If it looks right, I'll click Back to Programs. And just like that, I see my program in the program list. The program data check is marked off, so it looks like I've done everything correctly. And again, if I need to make any edits, I can go back and click the Edit button in the future. So assume for this demo, I have only one program in my program list. I only have one program design element associated to that program. Then I am complete with this section. Again, for your own jurisdiction, you can create as many programs as you need to identify your program list and associate the relevant program design elements to each program. But if you completed that, you can click the Next button to go to the Obligations and Expenditures Verification page. On this module, we've created a helpful tool for you to verify the different levels of information that you've reported throughout this report to make sure that they are consistent and sum up correctly in different sections. The table you see here reflects the total cumulative obligations and total cumulative expenditures entered at the program design element level on the program screen that we just went through previously. You'll want to make sure to review the totals here to make sure that they are accurate to what you're submitting in your report. An error message will appear if the totals here don't match the budget reporting screen that you reported on the budget reporting screen previously. In this situation, I have an error down below notifying me of where the discrepancy is. So now that I know there is an error, I have a choice, a decision to make of where the error has occurred or whether or not I need to correct my program information or I need to correct my budget reporting information. In this case, we're going to go back to budget reporting. Now I've gone to the budget reporting page. And I see here the discrepancy is because I've reported cumulative expenditures to date as being 0 when in fact on the programs page I reported $10,000. So I'm going to edit that by clicking into the pencil icon, correcting that mistake, and clicking Save. Records have been updated successfully. So if I've done that, I can go right back to the verification page, and you can see that the error message is gone. You'll want to make sure you do this and correct for any errors before you attempt to complete the rest of this report. Once you've done that and the error messages are gone, you can click the Next button. All right, we are almost done. We're at the second to last page now, which is the participant compliance page. Here on this page, you're going to be asked questions related to compliance with the HAF statute and established guidance. The questions on this page are pertaining to terms and conditions noted in both the statute and the guidance. The topics covered by these questions will include questions on max conforming loan amount, written attestations, the annual income definition, the socially disadvantaged individual definition, and obligations and expenditure targeting. So we'll go through, some of these questions are simple yes/no questions. Like the first one, did the participant use HAF assistance to assist homeowners with loans above the maximum conforming loan amount as defined in the HAF statute? Depending on your answer here, if you select yes, you'll be asked to provide additional written explanation as to why. If you select no, you can move on to the next question. So again, answer these truthfully, and if yes, provide a written explanation. Similarly, for the next set of questions here, you can answer yes or no. For number 2, no triggers a similar explanation box. So you can see here, most of these are yes/no questions. Key thing to point out, please refer to the guidance or the HAF user guide if you have questions about how to answer these questions. For number 4, the information on your participants' definition of socially disadvantaged individuals is coming from your HAF grantee plan. So it'll be populated here in this section. Since I'm just using a test record, there's no information here, but you'll see the definition listed for you. And you can affirm whether or not this is correct by answering confirm or deny. Similarly, the last set of questions for 5A and 5B pertain to how much of your HAF assistance has been either obligated or expended to homeowners with incomes less than the greater of either 100% AMI or the U.S. median income. You can fill these out with dollar figures here. And then lastly, did the HAF participant expend at least 60% of monetary HAF assistance to homeowners with incomes less than the greater of 100% AMI or the U.S. median income? It's a yes or no question. And depending on your answer, you may be asked to provide a written explanation as to why. For the purpose of this test, I've filled out the information here with sample answers. Now we can go ahead and click Save Information to save the answers here. Again, the answers here will be specific to your jurisdiction's use of HAF assistance. You can click Save and Next, and that'll just bring us to the certification page. And finally, we are on the certification page. This is where, once you've completed everything in the report, you're going to be able to review to check that whether you have any errors in your report and submit and certify that this report is accurate. So first, please read the certification statement at the top here. Make sure you understand it and that the authorized representative for reporting for your jurisdiction is prepared to sign off and certify on this report submission. Once you've done that, you can scroll down to the bottom here where you'll be provided with, for the authorized representative for your jurisdiction, have the name, email address, and a spot to enter in the name to recertify this report. So in this case, I'm entering my name. And before I can certify and submit, I need to run a validation check on the entire report to identify what is missing. This validate button will do just that, and we're going to go ahead and click validate. You can see this report is validated. All the required fields in this report are complete. Please know if there is any missing or inaccurate data in your report, the validate button will actually present red error messages at the top of this page that will show that you have information missing. In this case, just for an example, I removed my name from the certification box, so this is a sample of a validation error that occurs, telling me that I have a specific field here in quotes on the certification page that has not been filled out. So this is an example of the type of error you'll see if you click validate and you have errors in your report. It'll list out the page where those errors are found. So let's actually go ahead and correct that. And like that, I'll go ahead and validate again. And the error is gone. So that just shows how you can correct your error and validate your report before submission. Once we have no errors appearing, we know we can go ahead and click certify and submit, which will now be an available option. Let's go ahead and click certify and submit. A pop-up box will appear saying, are you sure you want to submit? You can read this, and if you're sure, you can click submit. You can cancel out to go back into your report and make edits. In this case, we're sure. We want to click submit. We'll go ahead and click it. And like that, our report is submitted. You'll be brought back to the instructions page of the report. The change you'll see is that the status up here on the right-hand side is changed to submitted. And then you'll see a date at the bottom that says the date in which the report was submitted. Now, if you're at this stage, you're all done. So, if you have any questions about this, we would ask you to please reach out. And you can contact us at the email address on your screen here, haf@treasury.gov, with any questions about your reporting. We'll make sure someone is able to respond in a timely manner and help you address any questions you have about your reports. And that concludes this video on reporting for the HAF quarterly report. Hope this video was helpful, and thank you again for being a part of this program.